Hi guys, welcome back from the break. Here I have with me a special guest, Adeiva, the Renewed Mama. Adeiva, could you introduce yourself to the people?
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. My name's Adeiva, the creator of the Renewed Mama. I'm just so happy to finally kiki and talk with Ria. We met sometime last year at I guess, a women's empowerment event, and it just clicked. And so I'm so happy to finally be able to catch up and talk with her.
Yes, that was a really nice event, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Baltimore County Library. They did a thing with that.
First of all, shout out to the library. Let's
Yeah,
start.
they have some amazing resources. Yes. And it was a free event. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it was free. I like to start off by asking my guests, how are you today?
Ooh, let me take a deep breath.
Yeah,
Let's
breath.
present here for a minute. I'm good overall. I think today has just been a full day. I've been ripping and running, but I did make sure I made a priority to pour into myself first because I knew it was going to be a busy day. So I got up at 6, went on my walk, and then did all the things. So I'm glad to just be here and take this moment. So I'm good overall. How you feeling today?
Today I'm feeling very thankful because I had an interview before you and now I have your interview, and I'm just grateful that people have made time out of their schedules to do this podcast with me. So yeah, I'm feeling very grateful today. I had to work, that's that, but outside of that, yeah, just feeling very grateful and warm on the inside. So I want to get into the mom of all things. But before you were a mom, you were a diva, being a diva in life. I just wanted to get into who you were before becoming a mama.
Man, that is a full question. She was a light, honey. I mean, she just loved being outside. She
Yeah.
loved being where the music was, where good food was, taking trips with my husband, going on adventures. Like that was who she was. I also was a nurse, where at the time that kind of became my identity. Kind of was, I don't want to say trained to, identify yourself with a career or, what you've become. So I thrived on schedules and structure, and I was able to give my full focus to that. I loved being a nurse. I loved caring for people. I still do, but now I could tweak my skills to become a mom. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was who she was. She was outside.
And at what age did you have your first child? Because I think age and time matters
Um,
in a mother's life.
2022. So I was, Lord, I'll be 36 this year. So I was what, 32 when I first got pregnant. My first pregnancy was twins. So that was like,
My gosh. The twins
yeah,
were first? I thought they were after.
no, that was my first. And I didn't even know it was possible for us to have twins until we found out we were having twins. We didn't even know that was a possibility. But on my husband's side, there's a few sets of twins that we never talked about. And I was like, okay, here we are.
Were you nervous slash excited? Like what kind of thoughts were like going through your head at the time?
Oh my gosh, pure like shock to start.
Mhm.
And because during the time was COVID, so my husband, well, kind of in the still like COVID era, but my
Yeah.
husband wasn't able to come to my prenatal visits with me. So like we were on FaceTime, like doing with the ultrasound. And
Mhm.
I remember finding out, and the doctor was like, don't tell him, just show him like the screen. And we were like, he was like, what is that too? Like we were totally shocked. But after that, it was just like pure like excitement and joy because we had been trying for a while. Um,
Mhm.
and our prayers were answered and tenfold.
Yeah, you're gonna get a double whammy on this girl, okay?
And then 6 months postpartum, I found out I was expecting our third child, our sweet baby boy.
6 months.
Yeah. So I
Well,
was very fresh postpartum. That finding out was not as, I don't want to say not as exciting, but in my mind, I had finally started like feeling kind of like myself again. And, just all the things of like, how am I going to take care of twins and a newborn baby
Yeah.
financially? How are we going to be able to afford this? All of the things. And once we like started letting people know, some people weren't as excited as I expected. And
Hmm.
it kind of really dimmed my light with my second pregnancy. It kind of made me feel like, man, like, am I being irresponsible by having, another child so close back to back, and not to, say anything, but some of it was coming from my own family. So I
Mhm.
really had to like sit in that. And it took a while to realize like it wasn't about them. Like God gave me this gift and it's for a reason, but it did, I think, take away a lot of the joy in that pregnancy, a lot
Mhm.
of like the celebration that it could have been. And that's one thing I do like kind of regret that I allowed people and influences to kind of steal that away.
Yeah, people project their thoughts onto you, but
Yes.
it has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. So,
What were like the postpartum? How were the two postpartums different? Because you're starting off with two babies, and then kind of halfway through the other postpartum, now you have your third baby, and then
yeah.
after that, you have the postpartum for that.
Yes. So postpartum after the twins was a lot more support, a lot of showing up from our family. Even my mom came down for a little bit. Prayerfully, my husband was still working from home at the time. Like I said, still like post COVID era. So
Mhm.
he was here a lot, which really helped like transition in that. And we had decided prior to having the twins that I was going to stay home, not forever, but for the initial like year, I wanted to stay home. And then I got pregnant again. So that kind of shifted. But the first postpartum was a lot of support within family. I don't feel like because I can't blame it on post COVID, but a lot of my friendships and relationships shifted and I didn't have that kind of support, that kind of village that I wanted.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the second pregnancy, that postpartum journey was a lot tougher. Again, had my twins, so that was already full. And then to bring this new baby boy in was like, okay, how are we going to do this?
Yeah.
So the support looked a lot different. My husband was home for a little bit. Actually, in the time that we had had our twins, he had got let go from his job. So, like, we had saved enough for a year, but like, we didn't know what was going to happen after that. So then he was like, all right, we're going to have the second baby. I'll stay home for a little bit and see how I can, still look for work and all of that. So I had a little support there. Family was not as present. His family was amazing. We even stayed with him for a few weeks first postpartum. And then we came home and reality hit. This time around, I was really focused on breastfeeding. My emotions, my hormones, everything was all over the place. And then 2 months after rushing to a postpartum appointment, I fell down the stairs and broke my ankle. So I then was pretty much not on bed rest, but I wasn't as mobile. So I was
Mhm.
in bed a lot. I kind of was away from the twins and my husband. I would be with the baby up here for upstairs for the most part during the days. So it got really like isolating. It got really hard. Breastfeeding in itself also always being on demand, always being available, not sleeping, all the things, it got really thick. And also not being as mobile. So I wasn't able to drive. I wasn't able to go out and about and get the breaks and the things that I needed. So it really was a harder transition. I think maybe I had him in November. By the new year, like January, I was like, I can't shake this. It's more than baby blues. I had reached out to get a therapist and I knew I needed some type of help. I just needed like transitional help, like just to let off whatever was in my head, all of the feelings, all the emotions out of my head, right? So that was challenging in itself because then I had to wait another 3 months to even get a therapist. So it was just like
Mm.
a lot of emotions that were like just toppling of lack of sleep, of breastfeeding, not
Mhm.
being able to be independent, not having community, a village, family, like all of that combined. To the mamas who are expecting, this is something I swear by now. As you are making your birth plan, your postpartum plan, include
Mhm.
a therapist from jump. Have her on standby, have that conversation beforehand because you really don't know what you need after you have that baby. After you are home in your environment with everything else that you have going on in your life, you need help to navigate it, whatever it looks like. So that is my thing now. Like, please have a therapist on standby if you are expecting, if you are entering motherhood, you'll need help. Don't say you
Yeah.
don't need help because you will need it. You just don't know in what capacity. So you want to have somebody there instead of needing the help and not being able to have anybody.
Yeah, 3 months. It's
Yeah.
just like, "Girl, I done already waited a couple of months to even make this decision, and now I
Yeah.
gotta wait longer."
Yeah. So it was really a difficult transition. And then again, with the second pregnancy, a lot of my friends kind of like went by the wayside. A
Mm,
lot of my closest and longest friends, our relationships severed. But in that, there was breaking, there was stretching that I thank God for because it stretched me. It put me in a season of kind of like, I don't want to say isolation, but solitaire. I don't know if that's the right word, but
yeah, solitude, yeah.
yeah, I was able to seek God more in it and like relearn who He says I am and not seeking validation from others. And I relearned like what community and what your village and what your friends should look like. My prayer a long time ago was like, remove the people in my life that are not attached to you and to my purpose. So it just was hard that it also came at the time where I needed that community, but I understand that that wasn't the community I needed. So it stretched me and I've grown so much in postpartum. And that's kind of also what like birthed the renewed mama.
Yes. So what inspired the name The Renewed Mama? And
So
spelling of it too.
yes, so for the OGs, I Am Renewed was started while I was still a nurse in the thick of the pandemic. I had started an Instagram page just to inspire nurses to um, self-care, take care of themselves so that they can better show up for their patients. So after that, I was doing that for a while, but it was nothing really became of it. I was just posting and encouraging nurses and like that was my thing, that
Yeah.
was my identity at the time. So then I took a break from that. And then once after my second postpartum journey, I was like, I really need community. I need people. I need other mamas who are going through the same thing because oftentimes, not even just in motherhood, in life, we're all going through the same things, but we're not talking about it. We don't
Correct.
have the safe space or, yeah, the safe space to feel comfortable enough to be like, yo, I'm going through this. And you know what, girl, I'm going through this too. Like I didn't have that. So that's kind of what inspired me to rebrand and refocus and then birth the renewed mama.
And so now The Renewed Mama, I saw that you like sell shirts and totes and
Mhm.
things of that nature. Are there events that you hold that give back to the community or to just mamas around the world?
So that is one of my goals to start having in-person events. I did start a group called the Mom Walk group. It's not actual in person, but it is like a group chat, a virtual meetup. The Mom Walk was kind of inspired by this quote I seen. I can't say it verbatim, but it's basically seeking God within your motherhood journey is your mom walk, like your walk with God, your mom walk. And so I tie that with me being on this wellness journey of taking my morning walks each day. So I kind of blended the two just to encourage other moms who are also on a mom walk, seeking God within motherhood, but also accountability for our physical and wellness goals. So each Monday, I'll send a prayer to the group and we'll do midweek check ins. And then on Fridays, we'll kind of recap and see what goals we met for the week and how we're going to refill our cups for the weekend. So that's
Mm.
something I started. My goal is to have a meetup next month for my birthday. So
Okay.
to be coming and my like big dream is to host a self-care event for moms. So I'm working on that, but I love the mamas, that motherhood has really changed me as a person and as a woman and I see the importance of feeling seen, other moms to feel seen within their journey too. So more to come for sure.
I like that you said that, and at the beginning, you said that you started off your day for yourself, which was the morning walk, and I thought about just how I saw my mother. She kinda struggles with doing things for herself, and I get it. It's like you become a mom, it's a selfless. Everybody said it's a thankless job, which I don't know if it's thankless. I think your children thank you if you're, like, a great mom, which I know
Yeah.
you are. But I think that it is hard for a lot of women when they get into this stage to unlearn certain behaviors. And so that's what I wanted to ask you. Like, what are some things that you had to unlearn in order to create a healthier balance for yourself?
I think the biggest thing I had to unlearn that I can't be a priority in the midst of motherhood. I really had been in the trenches and only recently gotten back to like taking care of me. Like I said before, like I had the babies back to back. My youngest will be 3 in November. So almost 2.5 years postpartum. I'm only now like learning how to prioritize myself. And it only happened by chance, but like it was the best thing that could have happened. Like
Yeah,
during the winter months, I had prayed like, Lord, I need help. Like, I don't know what this is gonna look like. Like these kids, me mentally, like it was getting really tough. And
yeah.
so the opportunity opened for the twins to start school. And once they started school and I only had my youngest at home, like a whole new world opened for me. Like wait,
Mhm.
I can drop off, go on my morning walk, make a healthy lunch, like start taking care of myself again. And it just shifted my whole mindset that I can still prioritize myself within motherhood.
Mhm.
And it's so good for your mental. Like for me to start my day, like I go for my walks in silence. Like I want to hear the birds. I want to see all the things, the bees. Like that's just I love nature. I love being outside, but for me that really like grounds me. So
Yeah.
when I come into the chaos, I'm not also triggered. And then I'm also trying to unlearn or like release the guilt of resting and asking for help.
Mm.
I'm trying to do better in that, but that is something I struggle with. My mom was a single mom who worked 2 jobs, who did all the things. Like that is what I seen, and that was my example. She did take her time to do her meditation and like tell me to be quiet, go in the other room. I need to get my so I learned from an early age the importance of taking your moments, but also like being a woman who is a hard worker.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to take
Yeah.
back, scale back, and live that like soft mom life a little bit. Like I know the house is not always gonna be clean. The dishes won't always be done, and like I'm okay with that. Like I've gotten to a point where I'm okay with that. Like our house is the most it's been lived in the entirety of it being here. With 3 toddlers, like it's chaos.
It is what it is. I tell my mom friends they're like so self-conscious about their space and stuff. I'm like, you literally have children. You have toddlers, you have babies running around. It's normal if there's going to be some dishes in the sink, things are going to be unorganized, if there's toys everywhere. I mean, like you have children. So it's
You
normal.
want your house to be lived in. You want
Right.
cookie cutter, like perfect aesthetic. Like that's not real. Like let's
It's
just be
not.
yeah.
And
So,
then also, I think for my mom friends who do stay at home, I think a lot of people have a misconception about when you do stay at home with your kid. Oh, it's so easy. Like I could just keep everything clean all the time. And I said,
yeah.
in what world? In what universe?
That is one thing I did not know. I had no idea. I tell you the truth. One day you can sweep and mop at least 5 times in a day, and you think one time is enough. It's not. And
It's
that is one thing I did not know because, honey, the
mm-mm.
cleaning alone will take you out constantly after every meal, like just all the things. It's yeah,
You
yeah,
said
that's
after every meal, they in that high chair,
right. On
food
the
on the
floor, like,
floor.
yes, all of it. So,
And
yes, that is one thing I did not know, honey. Nobody told me, nobody put that in the book. Nobody writes that part in the book.
they don't. They're like, oh, you have to clean like. 12
No.
times more than you'd ever had in your life. And then I also saw a post, this is a while back, but you were like treating myself to crab legs. I said, my mom does the same thing at times.
Mm,
She was like, I'm gonna have my crab leg
yes.
butter.
My favorite thing is to check to see when Giant is going to have crab legs on sale. And if it's on sale, I'm going to get them. Okay.
Yes, and you have them steamed.
Yes.
Yes. Mhm.
And I come home. I usually wait until everybody is napping so I can enjoy them in peace because now my twins have acquired a taste for crab legs. My daughter the
Oh,
other day, we were like, so what do you want for dinner? She said crab legs. I said, go ahead, girl.
girl,
Done. You are three.
these kids, they have an acquired, they have an
I
elevated
mean,
taste.
man,
Like,
already.
pandemic, what happened? Because
Yeah,
even my nephew will be like, "Crab legs." I'm like,
excuse
"Crab legs? You can have a sandwich."
right. The best I could ask for was McDonald's. Like that was our,
Yeah.
you know.
But yeah, one of my nephews, he's like, "Can I get Chipotle?" I'm like, "Wait, where?"
What to know about this?
I don't even know. I just something happened in the universe where
Yes,
the kids have an elevated taste. It's like I love it, but also I'm not getting you crab legs. Like,
right. And you need to get a job so you can pay for it.
right, and you need to get a job. Okay, at JOB, you're far from it, but until then,
Yes. Yeah.
um, and I wanted to kind of get into like the self-care aspect because we're getting on that with the crab legs and the morning walk. So what are some examples of self-care and what does that look like for you?
So for me, self-care isn't like bubble baths and spa days and nail appointments. That's just not my reality. We have to be budget friendly and very cutesy over here. So if I'm able to do it, I'm a DIY girly by nature, a kitchen beautician. Like
Hmm.
I've always been that. So that's not really my thing, but self-care for me is really like soul care. I call them like micro moments. I don't always get a full hour, 2 hours. My favorites right now are my morning walks. If I can get everybody in the car and allow them to go to sleep, then I'll go to Dunkin' and get me my, special drink. And like that's my moment. It's just really carving out quiet moments within the day, spending time with God before the house wakes up, going on
Mhm.
my walks. Like that's really my self-care in this season. I'm really trying to stick with this wellness journey. That has really been my priority in this season because I'm finally able to take care of myself. I've gotten my body back. I was breastfed for 18 months and then just postpartum, like emotions, hormones still fluctuating, all of that. So now I feel like I'm finally settled and I'm in a mental space to start pouring back into me again. So, like, taking care of my body, like cooking good foods and nourishing foods, that is really what self care looks like for me in this season. I know it will change as the kids get older, but right now it's focusing on the micro moments. Where can I get, I can go out on the deck for 10 minutes and just take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Like just sit and be still for a minute. I'm trying to teach and show the kids that like mommy needs a break. We're gonna have
Yeah.
a quiet time. Let's take some deep breaths and let's reset. Like I'm trying to teach them that to regulate their emotions, what it looks like when you do need a break, because we need breaks.
Yeah.
Like we can't be the Energizer bunny running on fumes. And the
No.
only way that they're gonna learn is when we teach them. So I am trying to be very intentional about showing them like when I need a break, what that looks like. Um,
Yeah.
and it's like allowing me to refill so that I can pour is really like what I am focusing on in this season in self-care. And because if you're not full, you can't pour, you can't take care of your kids, you can't show up as a wife, as a partner, as an auntie or whatever. You can't show up. You can't even show up for yourself, let alone your whole family. So that's really been my focus on self-care in this season.
I love that. What's your favorite meal to cook, by the way?
Uh, I really, I used to like cooking before I had toddlers
Okay.
because they had really, I remember one day I made this like elaborate meal. I can't even remember what I made. Like they picked through it, like not that they didn't like it, but they just like had to examine everything. Just like they have really like changed my perspective on cooking. One thing I like to make for everyone is like this Alfredo bake. It's like broccoli, cauliflower. I'll make homemade Alfredo sauce with chicken. I'll usually leave the pasta out because yeah. So it's just something everybody can eat. That's easy. You can freeze it, child. I just made that yesterday. So that's my go-to, but really simple. One thing I'm loving in the mornings is kind of weird, but it's sauteed spinach and onions with a scrambled egg. Like I've been really digging that.
Yeah. I love a spinach in the morning with your eggs, and then I like a bacon fried egg slash croissant situation.
Yes, that sounds
Yeah,
delicious.
I had that this morning. I was like, "Okay, she's fancy with it now."
Yes,
And I toasted the croissant, so it was like
of
a little
course.
butter, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you said that you had some questions for me regarding my birth doula journey, because you are about to go onto a postpartum doula journey, which I am too, but I wanted to hear what you had to ask me, please.
So it's kind of come by chance. I have a heart for moms, like I said. I think postpartum has really my own postpartum journey has shifted the way I would like to show up for other moms, especially in the community. Um,
Mhm,
I, by chance, had seen an event. I don't want to, well, backing up, I had seen an event and I was actually staying in Laurel the last few weeks because my kids were in camp there.
mhm,
And the event popped up. It was just an information session about doula training. And
mhm.
I'm like, what are the odds? Like, it's literally right down the street. Like, let me just go and see. So I had no really idea what it was about. I had also been kind of seeking and asking God what I should do in this next season. I still want to keep my license active and be present as a nurse, but not in that capacity. I don't really desire to go back to bedside or anything in that kind of realm. I want to do postpartum or maternal health. So I went to the event. I was just like, this is so exciting. Like my heart was fluttering the whole time. I was like up in the front row, like, is this for real? I don't know, maybe didn't really know like what a doula was and like how they can show up and be present and empower moms and all of that. So I am contemplating about starting a, doula training program, but just like what the I don't want to say the day to day, but kind of the journey of becoming a doula was, what that kind of looks like, um,
Mhm.
and how you're able to support moms in the community, like kind of what that looks like.
So for me, it started out I've been a doula since 2018,
Okay.
and I went to a training. And, well, let me back up. I
Mhm.
wanted to, like, hold abandoned babies, but, like, the volunteer list was, like, full, so I was like, "How can I help, like, moms and babies?" And I was in school at the time, so I was like, "I'm not transferring my degree. Like,
Mhm.
we are where we are right now, we're gonna stick to it." But doula was, like, another avenue for me, and I was
Okay.
like, "What is that?" So it took, like, 2 weeks to, like, research what a doula was, and I was like, "I've kinda been this, like, with my mom a little bit when she
Mm,
was having my siblings or, like, my aunties or, like,
yeah.
just anyone in the community that was having a baby, kinda like, I wasn't there during the birth, but,
Mhm.
like, support afterwards for sure.
Yeah.
So then I took the birth doula training and it was like a different it just opened my mind up, and I was like, "This is, like, one of my callings in life," because like you, I have a soft spot in my heart for mothers. I feel that people aren't empathetic with moms. It's like once you're a mom, you gotta do everything, you gotta do it all, and it's like,
Yeah.
my body just went through a traumatic
Right. Like I need support too.
I need support too, and I'm gonna need it more than just, like, 5 seconds. Like,
Right.
postpartum, the way that it lasts is, like it could last for years for some moms. Like,
Yeah.
it just
Years now they're saying.
yeah, it's just like, "This isn't fair." Yeah, so I started out with my cousin. She was pregnant around the time, and it was just like her, and I was like, "I'm gonna be there for you, like, I'm just gonna be your support," you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people think, like, you need to be a single mom to have a doula, and that's not the case at all. If you just want extra help,
Yeah.
just ask for it. That's what we're basically what the job is. And yeah, I went with her to her like prenatal appointment, so I
Mhm.
got to see him like do the ultrasound and stuff. And I remember I posted a picture of him And people were like, "Rhea, are you pregnant?" I'm like, "No, this is my
Oh my
first
goodness.
doula baby."
Aw.
It's Carter. Yeah, he's my first doula baby, and we created a birth plan, and it
Mm,
kinda got messed up, but that was, like, my first situation where it was like, "Okay, you may make a birth plan, but it may not go accordingly to what
yeah,
you want."
yeah.
So I was like, okay, as I had more moms, I was like,
Mhm,
I was learning more and more
mm,
things so I could be better for the next mom.
yeah.
But yeah, seeing him just like come out and then like seeing the placenta come out, I'm like, this is so cool. Like, I don't understand how people just like, I don't know, it's so cool. And he was long as I don't know what, and he was born on a full moon.
Well,
Yeah, I just took the information from each birth and I
mhm,
applied it to the new moms that I was working with, and then
yeah.
I also volunteered,
Okay.
for I think it's called Community of Hope.
Oh,
They
yeah.
in DC, yeah, they had a, I don't know if they have it now, but they had a volunteer birth doula program, and so
Oh,
I was working through
wow.
that as well. You know, I've helped moms with husbands, I've helped moms with language barriers, I've helped all types of moms, period. So, yeah, I stopped after my baby birth in 2022
Mhm,
because, I just felt like I was getting called to postpartum more,
mm,
and I was seeing that, like, yes, the birthing process is very important, but postpartum is,
yeah,
like that's really important,
yeah.
and I don't think people really realize that unless they're, like, closely working with moms, if they are a mom,
Mhm.
or, you know, sometimes people would be like, "Well, I didn't go through this, my pregnancy, so da da da." And it's like, well, don't we want the moms after you to have a better experience? I don't
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
you know? So, yeah, did I answer your question? I'm sorry, I went like a
Do you feel like it was an easy transition to enter into the doula field?
I think so. I think so, um, based off of, like, the instructor that I had, she provided us with, like, tasks and resources, like
Like,
books, like, you have to read books, articles. Finding out that Black women were, like, 12 times more
yeah,
likely to die during childbirth was crazy.
yeah.
Insane, and that's still the case to this day. So, yeah, they provided us with resources, with books, even resources outside of class, and
Mhm.
so, if my mom's, like, also needed a resource, like, if they wanted to encapsulate their placenta or
Did
if they
that?
yeah, you did? Ah,
Yeah.
that's so cool. If they needed, therapy services, but they probably couldn't afford it, I would try to find, like, low to
Okay.
free costs programs that were,
Yeah.
like, in their cities and, just things like that. It's just or, some moms have, food insecurity issues where they need to get food from other places, so you look up, some kitchens that are donating food or, just, like, certain places where they can get the things
Mhm.
that they need, because I don't know, through this work, it's just like, dang, moms need so much, like, after birth, like, they need food, they need mental health services, they need what if there's some I didn't even know diastasis erecti or whatever?
Yeah.
People can suffer through that, they need physical therapy for that, so they need help with finding out people who are if they have insurance or if they don't have
Yeah.
insurance, like
Get that care, pelvic floor therapy, all of that.
therapy, yeah, just certain things that you don't think about until you're in this field where it's like,
Yeah.
"Okay."
It's more than just you and baby. There's so many other components that and you need the support and the guidance to, like, navigate that because there is
Yeah,
so much. So, yeah, it's something that I'm really drawn to right now in this season. So, I'm gonna see where it goes, but I will definitely chat more with you about it once I
yeah.
decide on which way to go.
I think you'll be like the perfect because they were so the my instructor, she was also a RN before
Okay.
she like got into the field. So I feel like people who are in that field or people who are moms themselves or involved in their communities, it's a
Yeah.
great transition and you learn so much.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I think that's what's next. We'll see.
We'll see. I'm excited for you. You have to let me know like how it
I
goes.
definitely will. Yeah, I definitely will.
You'll probably cry too, because like one of my assignments was to ask an elder about their birthing experience.
Hmm.
And I asked my grandmother, my mom's mom, what her birthing experience was, and I just weep. I just cried
Mm,
for her. She was in, she had both my uncle and my mom in a segregated hospital in Memphis, and they just weren't treating them the
oh my,
best.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, she had to give birth on her back, and she had to put, like, her feet through stirrups and stuff like that. It was just, like, inhumane, and I was like, "I hope they" like, I'm not supposed to say this, but I'm like, "I hope they just" it just made me so angry for her. But yeah, like, I appreciated exercises like that because it forces you outside of yourself and
Yeah,
makes you think of, like, okay, your mom and your grandmom, they number 1, they're people, but they also have their own experiences, and it shapes the way that they are today.
that is very true. You need those stories. Those stories, like you said, have shaped who they are, who have shaped how we've came into the world. So yeah, that's really important. I might just do that within my family to see,
Tell
like,
people, ask your
yeah,
parents.
see what that even sounds and looks like, to see how that's affected them, what it looked like then. And prayerfully it's not the same now, but like you said, the maternal health rate and birth rates and mortality rates are still really high, like from the 80s. Like it's almost the same, if not worse now. So it's like, okay, we gotta change something.
Mhm.
I definitely think doulas and birth workers have a big part in that because you have an extra advocate. Somebody is not treating you right. You're not, things aren't aligned with your birth plan. Things are being forced upon you. Like you have extra help and support to like navigate that. So I think birth
Mhm.
work is just like so special.
Yeah. It's very rewarding for sure, like, to the spirit.
Yeah.
And it just makes you wanna keep going, which yeah, like, I wanna find a postpartum program soon,
Okay.
'cause yeah,
Well,
like
let
I
me
said,
know.
that's
I'll
the
let
next
you know.
yeah, let you know.
Yes, we'll be our each other's accountability.
Yes, accountability partner.
Yeah.
What advice can you give to moms out there, in terms of self-care, in terms of motherhood?
I think to start to remember that this is a season. It's
Yeah.
not going to be forever. I know it's hard. I know you're tired, but this too shall pass. Not to sound cliche, but it is just going to be a season. They won't be this small forever. They won't need you in the same capacity forever. And within that, just try to see the stretching and the rebirth that is taking place within you. And God is doing work within you like during the time. And you'll see that light at the end of the tunnel. I promise you. My biggest thing is seeking God within every step of motherhood has really like kept me sane
Mhm.
because there's days when you don't have the strength. You do not have the capacity. You do not have the patience to
Mhm.
show up. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be exhausted. You can be carrying your own mental weight. You can be depressed, sad, all of that, but you still have to show up for them kids. And
Yeah.
within that, like I've really learned to seek God within it because that has given me the strength, the patience, and like the guidance that I need to like show up every day for them and to remember that you matter. Like
Mhm.
your needs matter, your dreams still matter. Yeah. I didn't know that motherhood doesn't mean like you have to put yourself last. Like that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that you have to be last means you have to just be more intentional about filling yourself so that you can show up better for them. So, like I talked about starting your day, like even though I do have to wake up at 5:30, nobody wants to do that. But that's the only time I get. And
Yeah.
now it's my non-negotiable. With the days that I don't get my time, I could see the big difference in my day because I don't have the capacity. I don't have the patience. I can't show up more present because I'm spent. But when I do take that time, I'm just like, I'm more peaceful. I can be calmer. I'm not snappy, all the things. But it took me so much time to get there. Like I'm talking 2 years, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
'Cause I was in the trenches. I couldn't see the light. I only saw what was around me. So I'm saying like the light is at the end of the tunnel. This is just a season. God is stretching you. He is doing something within you that will be birthed out of it. I feel like once you become a mom, it changes your perspective on everything. Your
Mhm.
whole mindset, the way you live changes everything. And you just have to be intentional. It's going to be hard at first, but like once you see that you're able to show up better, you'll still want to do it. And one other thing, like don't wait for the perfect time. You want to
Mm.
start a business, if you feel that you've had a powerful experience within motherhood postpartum and you need to share it and talk about it, do it because the
Yeah.
perfect time doesn't exist. These kids gonna be here now. They here. So we have to work around and like still fulfill our dreams, still fulfill the promise that God has placed on us or the vision and just keep going, like keep showing up. It might be hard. I know the days are hard. I know the days are long, but it's only a season and you're strong enough to make it through. And on the days you're not strong enough, ask God to give you the strength. That's it.
I've been starting to ask this question in regards to the title of the podcast, Late Bloomers. Has there been a time in your life where you felt limited or delayed, and how did you get through it?
I felt like in the end of my second postpartum journey, I felt limited in the sense of not having a village or community. I felt like I was just like in these trenches by myself. I didn't know who to lean on. Also, not that I was embarrassed, I just didn't know how to like communicate and lean on people. It's hard for me to ask for help. It's hard for me to be vulnerable because past experiences have tainted me being vulnerable because it always resulted in something negative. So within that, I had to really shift my mindset of this is not permanent to kind of see the beauty within isolation, but not having that same village, knowing that I was being stretched and pulled in a different way to strengthen me in that season. And I really got closer to God within that, to be honest. Like that was really what got me through it because people in your hardest time is really hard, right? It can
Yeah.
really, like break you down. It can really destroy your outlook on life, on your outlook on your own season. And I had to remember like the beauty within my season right now and not focus on the negative. But yeah, that's how I've pushed through the hardest seasons, especially within my second postpartum journey. Like I grew a lot closer to God, and that's what like grounded me and kept me.
You going?
Yeah, for sure.
Because, like you said, some days you just don't have it.
Yeah.
Okay. What does now that you have this renewed perspective? What in the world is perspective? What does community look like you today?
Community today, I think two parts to that. I think I also had to be in a space to be receptive to community within like postpartum and post COVID era. We created a bubble here to protect the babies, like to protect our household, like, and the bubble kind of stayed too long. I wasn't as open and receptive to community. Something shifted in me. I think it was 2023. I had gone to a new momish conference. That was like my first,
Oh,
yeah, that was
yeah,
first like day out the house, no babies, like I was still breastfeeding, like all the things. But I saw an ad for like the conference. I was like, I gotta be in that room. Like I just saw the connection. I saw like the other moms there and I was like, I gotta be there. Um,
yeah,
so I was gifted a ticket to go and I went there and I saw community. I saw other moms that were going through the same thing as me. I saw people who looked
mm,
like me who were experiencing the same things. And I'm like, this is community.
yep,
And then from that, like my fuel for Renewed Mama kept going. And I was like, this is what it's about. Like just having someone to lean on. One of my good friends, Lolita now, she has been like such a pivotal person in my postpartum. Like we'll be sending voice memos late at night. We'd be up nursing the babies. Like, girl,
yeah,
like just having a person to lean on is community
yeah,
right now. And I didn't have that. Sometimes I like blame myself because I was in my bubble. But once my brain shifted to like, this is what it's about, this exists, that changed everything. And I was like, oh, I need more of this. This is so important because like I said, we are all going through so much in life to our day to days, and we need somebody to just talk to, bounce things off of like, girl, I'm going through this. Girl, I'm going through this too. Like, how we let's just encourage each other. Let's just check in. Checking in is community to me, like intentionally checking in on you to see how you're really doing. Not like, oh, yeah, I'm good. No, you're back up. How are you really doing? Like really having people show up for you in your time of need is community. And I'm not talking like come to my house, clean my dishes, bring me food, like just how you're doing has
Yeah.
really told me like what community is. I really want to grow the Renewed Mama into a real community for moms to like lean in on each other, to have a safe space to talk, to ask questions, be that postpartum and beyond. Postpartum is the trenches, but you're still going to be in motherhood. You're still going to be trying to balance all the things, and just having like people who are going through it with you and let you know that you're not going crazy, that you have
Yeah.
somebody who you can lean on, who you can pray with. Like that's community for me. And that's what I'm trying to create with the Renewed Mama.
You are a breath of fresh air. I
Yeah.
really appreciated your responses, like just your time today. Of course. Do you have anything coming up that you would like to make the audience aware of? I know that you said you'll be working on events eventually. Have a sale or
So
IG Live?
I'll be vending at the New Momish Conference in September 6th. It's a Saturday. So if you are coming to the conference, I will be there. And then after that, the next weekend is my birthday. I am trying to have a mom walk meetup for that day, which is September 13th, but more details will be coming. And then I'll have something coming at the end of September. Girlfriend and I are joining forces to do some unfiltered mom talks. So that is also coming. A little podcast-esque, but just something to chit chat and have conversations and be a safe space for the mamas. So that's also coming at the end of September. So September is going to be busy, and it's going to be my birthday, September 12th. So yes.
Hey, Virgos. Yeah.
So September I'm looking forward to it. So those are the things. Follow
We'll
me.
put everything in the Bible. We'll put a link in the bio. Sorry.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram so you guys can keep up with what is upcoming in September at the Renewed Mama.
Oh my gosh. And I'm also gonna put New Momish website as well for any moms out there who are just looking for some community. They are great and I would like to have her on the podcast eventually. But
Yes,
yes.
resources. She is really there for the mamas in the community. So
Yeah.
good.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you again. We hope to have you on the podcast again. Perhaps we can talk about going to the bathroom after giving birth. 'Cause
Okay. That's real. That's real. I love it. I'm here for it.
that's like a niche topic, but I'm like, we need
We
a
need to talk about it.
because the way that I was shocked, I was like, oh, you have to, oh, okay.
Yeah. We can get into the nitty-gritty. I'm here for it. So
Yeah,
out here who's about to have a baby needs to know, because
yeah,
you won't be surprised.
yes. The more information that we have
Yes, so much.
ahead of time, the better we can be prepared. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
That's just my motto. But I love talking to you, Adeiva. Please do
Yes,
not be a
thank you,
stranger.
Leah. Of course.
I hope and pray everything goes as according to plan. I hope it goes better than according to plan. How
Yeah,
about
claiming it. Yes.
us claiming it?
Mm.
And we'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Bye.